Hello, bro. So that's basically a different version of video. So I will talk about the grammar related things, the basic things. Basically, is what we actually need to know. So at times we need to understand that. So grammar is not basically the structure itself. It's a complete gesture so that you can actually understand the behavior of a sentence or of a context. So, in order to do that, in order to identify the grammar, it's basically the important thing. So, we will begin with from the very early stage. So, we will start with the subject, verb, and what are the things that we actually need. So, we go focus on the tense first, and at the beginning, the present tense will play the basic part, and then we will talk about the person, and then we talk about the number, and then we'll talk about how to understand that verb. So these are the four things we will cover in this video. So later we will talk about the other things. Oh, okay. More often, this is not a very deep things, but we will talk about in such a way that so that you can actually understand it. So when you talk about the tense, it's basically relevant with time. So when you talk about the person, it's relevant with a person or agent uh, who is the doer or who is doing the job. Okay, and when you talk about the number, it suggests the quantity. What is the quantity of something like how many or how much, it's like that. But how much is quite not used, but in case of subjective, which when we talk about the agent or person, we talk about how many people are there, how many person are there. Okay, and adverb is basically the modifier of three things. So it's it never modifies noun, so always understand that it never modifies noun can't be modified by adverb. It only modified verb and adjective, and it modifies itself. Okay, so these are the four things. Adverb means the manner, the way it actually happens. Okay, so these are the four things we will talk about. First come with tense. As we say that tense is basically the important information. So while talking about the tense, we will come to a thing which is called pronoun or noun thing. So pronoun and noun, they are this relevance kind of thing. So noun is a kind of thing that actually describe the name of four things like person or like a people, place, idea, or things, like certain things, like abstract things. Okay, so these are the four things it modifies now. So pronoun actually replace them each other, doing okay, so there, that, okay, not that, it's like this, then it comes each other, and it's kind of what, where. So these are the things which is actually counted as pronoun: interrogative pronoun, demonstrative pronoun, reciprocal pronouns, reflexive pronouns, so, and indefinite pronouns. So these are the pronouns. Okay, so we are not here to talk about the pronoun kind of things. We will talk about that later. But now we have to know that I is a person which is referring to something. So I is a singular. So I is a singular, and singular means it's a number. So you actually come to the number section. I is a singular person. That means only one person. So if there is only one person, we are talking about only one person. That means this is the first person. So it's a first person singular number, because how many people are there? Only one people are there. And what is the position of the person who is talking, or who is actually the agent? I is the agent. So we have to talk about that person refers to the agent. Okay. So when you talk about the agent, if you understand that the first person is the agent, and when you talk about the how many people are there, we talk about the numbers like 1 2 3 4, but it's like many to infinity level. So when you talk about the I is a singular thing, and it is a first person. So singular and first person. Okay, so that's the basic thing here. Now we have to put a something in English. No matter what, you have to always stick to your verb, because I is the agent. He has to do something, because we have named it agent who is the doer. So if someone is the doer, he has to do something. It is his identical information that if he doesn't do anything, that is not possible, that is not even possible. So he has to do something, like I go. This is the first thing. So go means someone who is moving from one place to another. Go means he needs to move. The person who is I'm talking about, the I person, he has to move from one place to another. So it's like a thing that is, we have a pin like thing, and if I named it as I, and if I rotate it or move the pin from this particular A section to B section, let's say A section to B section, so it actually crosses a distance. To cross the distance, it has to move. So when we talk about the moving sense or moving particles, we actually talking about the verbs. So verb is basically the representation of the movement of any object or anything, so that is regardless of its position or a thing. Okay, so if I say that I go, so go is means verb, and so go is referred to as verb. So verbs are very important to understand the tense or time. Verb is very relevant, because verb decides when he actually move from one place to another. The time or the exact moment, we haven't talked about that. So I go to school yesterday. Okay, if I write this, if I write a sentence like I go to school yesterday, the sentence itself looks very well. Okay, at first it looks very well, but here comes the thing. When we talk about the tense, we have talked about that tense is identified within the period. Tense can be identified using something called adverb or other things, but it's basically, which is the most important is how the verb functions with the time. Okay, so that means they has to the parallel thing. If I use a yesterday as adverb, I have to make the adverb parallel to its verb, because they are the modifier. Because yesterday modifies the verb. Yesterday tells the verb that okay, if I sit here, you have to change yourself. Otherwise, you will become wrong. Okay, so that's what the yesterday says to the whole sentence. So that's why we can't write go. We have to switch back to went, because this yesterday is modifying this went. So that's what we have talked about, like adverb modifier. So this verb is modified by the yesterday, because if you use go, the sentence is become like absolutely absurd with our own identification, because yesterday is a kind of influencer that influence the whole sentence to say that okay, if I am here, you all have to wear the same kind of costume. If you don't wear it, and that's it. But why the verb? Because verb is the determiner of the tense or the time. Verb decides that what is the time it is. Verb is like a clock. So if the clock doesn't change its motion or movement, it doesn't suggest something. Okay, if I say that 2:30, so the clock has moved to 2:30. Otherwise, my intuition or my saying is wrong. I that 2:30 is not a valid time. Okay, so when I talk about yesterday, the time is switched back to the yesterday's clock, so that's why I have to change my clock. That's the thing. So I have to switch back to, let's say, today is 15th August. I say this sentence, and I went to school yesterday. That means I went to school 14 August. So the went has to switch back its clock on the 14th August. So that's how we actually do the tense kind of things. So now you have understand the whole thing, is it? Okay, so basic part is, I will not talk, I will say something else. Like if I say I am good or I am failing, good tomorrow. Now, as I talked about that, who is the modifier of what? I am. I is a pronoun. We have talked about that. Feeling is a expressing his condition. Okay, so feeling is basically modifying the good. Good is it is modifying the good. So feeling good is like how was its condition. Okay, so how is the condition? Feeling good. So good is an adjective and feeling is a modifier of good. That's why feeling is the adverb. We can say that. But what about tomorrow? Tomorrow is like it's a time period. When I was feeling good, or when someone is feeling good. So, okay, the question arises now, tomorrow, as we all are familiar with today, tomorrow, yesterday, we know that tomorrow means the day that hasn't come yet. It has to be, we have to wait for the time. Let's say this is for 15 August, I'm talking about 16 August. Okay, I'm talking about the 16th August. So if I talk about 16th August and if I say that I'm feeling good, what does make sense? Does it make sense? No, because I don't know whether I would feel good or not. I don't have any idea. Maybe I can be dead or maybe I can be sick. Whatever can it can happen, but I don't know anything about that. So how can I say that I am feeling good? I'm giving a statement. I'm giving a fact. So tomorrow is not modified the I am. So that's a wrong thing. So you have to modify it. I will feel good or I will be feeling good. Okay, so I'm feeling good or I'll be feeling good. Let's say I will be feeling good. So it's like a prediction. Okay, why this prediction comes? Because the modifier is tomorrow and it is an adverb. An adverb is modifying our verb to say, hey man, your clock is saying that I'm in the 15th August. You have to change yourself. Otherwise, I will be I will be very angry with you. I will give you a zero. So that's how these things are work. So this is basically the thing is okay. So we have talked about the person thing. So there are persons. So we are learned that only first person, and this first person is referred to only one object, that is I. Okay, when you talk about first person, it's basically I which is talking about, and when we talk about other thing that will come later. So we have learned that number is should be singular and I is a singular number, and we also learned that how the things verb changes within tense. So tense is identification has been evaluated by the verb. So verb is the evaluation, or verb is the it's like a, what do you say that verb is the stigma of identifying that whether the thing is actually the in the present tense or not, or what tense is actually is. Okay, so this is the basic thing. You have to first practice it. So I'm not talking about the other things. So this is the for the this part. I hope you will understand it after going through a various practice. So this is your first lesson, then we will switch back to another one. Thank you for having me with us. I hope you all know that how to do the thing. So first you need to understand that you understand it better than other. Otherwise there is no possibility that you can do better, because the question maker always believes himself. The question makers understand himself or itself, herself, whoever it is, that they are the best in that. So when we actually need to solve a question, we need to understand that we are the best question maker. The makers are the best solvers. Whoever makes the problems, they are the best solver because they know that how to solve it. So that's it. So so that is the thing. I hope you understand it. Thank you.